Welcome back. Thank you for joining me here on my learning blog. Cool echo, wasn't it? All right, we're here today to talk about perimeter, more specifically to quadrilaterals, but there could be many other shapes that we're going to determine how to define or decide the perimeter of an object. Now, let's first start talking about quadrilaterals. Quadrilateral is a four-sided polygon that has also four angles as well. It has four line segments and four angles. And perimeter is the distance completely around, say, object. Okay, so whenever we are trying to find the distance around something, we are looking for perimeter. With regards of circles, that will be circumference, but we're going to focus on perimeter. And I do think I have an example or a few examples that are not quadrilateral, so just bear with me. But I'll show you how to teach perimeter with quadrilaterals and without. So 2 for 1. Here we go. And again, remember, go check out some of our resources regarding perimeter. And it'll really give your child an extra step or a little more help with regards. It'll supplement what they're doing in the classroom. So perimeter, like I said, focuses on what is going on outside of the object. Why does your child need to know perimeter? I'm sure they're asking. Well, let's think of a fence, maybe. Let's think of if you have an animal like me. I have a dog, very big dog, and I need a fence I need a yard with a large perimeter. So that means I have to spend more money on buying a fence, right? Because it takes up more space. Whenever we're trying to determine how to put something around something else with regards of shapes, that is going to focus on perimeter. Like, for instance, in my backyard, the gate in the far end of the backyard has to be a little bit longer, right? I have no idea what I'm talking about, but the people who put the gate up, they really need to know perimeter. And in different instances, we really need to know how the distance around an object. So how do we measure perimeter exactly? Glad you asked. Perimeter is found 2 ways. If you were working with a quadrilateral or any shape, the way you figure out perimeter is you simply add up all the sides. If you have 4 sides, then you add up each side, put them together, and what do you got? The perimeter. But when we're working with quadrilaterals, there's another equation that works just as well. And the equation that you can work with your child is they would measure the length. I did it in cursive simply for the fact that if I did it like this, it might be hard to determine that that is supposed to be the length. So I'll erase it. Hope you saw that one. So the length times 2 plus the width times 2. So there are 2 widths right here in this shape. We have the width is 2 meters. So the width up here would be 2 meters as well. So basically we just took those steps and put it together. 2 times 2 equals 4. And then we took the length, which is 4 meters here, and it would also be 4 meters here. And that would equal 8, and then 4 plus 8 would equal 12 meters is the perimeter of this object. Now, like I said, I had quadrilaterals and then non-quadrilaterals. So with quadrilaterals, you can multiply the length and the width times 2 and get the answer, right? You could also just say 4 plus 2 times 2, and that will give you 12, or the perimeter. Or you can just help your child by understanding, just add up all these sides. So in this instance, with this polygon here, we have 4, and I'll put a check mark so I don't forget, plus 1, plus 2, plus 1, plus 3, plus 1, plus 3, plus 1, plus 3, plus 1. And the answer is 1, 3, 4, 8, plus 3 is 11, 12, 16, centimeters. Check me. I'm not sure if that's right, but that's simply how they're going to do it. Now, notice I put check marks beside each number that I added. I normally do that because I normally teach it that way because it allows students to go back and check over their work simultaneously while working the problem. A lot of times students may miss one or two numbers and then that throws the problem off. So have them check themselves as they're doing it. And they can put dots, X's, tallies, however they want to. So we're gonna do a couple more problems to show how to measure perimeter. And like I said, I have two objects up here that are not quadrilaterals. Sorry, I'll start with the quadrilateral. How about that? All right, so I have a square, obviously, because it's 7 meters by 7 meters. And I'll simply add those sides all together. So if it's a square, then that means all sides are the same. So this one will be 7 meters as well as this one. And I have 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. Check, 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 check. Or I have 7 times 4. If your child is ready, they can go that far. And the answer will be 28 meters. Make sure they do not forget their unit. Here, I have this pentagon, a house looking shape. It's kind of light blue. I hope you can see it. All right, I have 2 centimeters plus 2 centimeters plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So 3 of 3 plus, and I'm gonna come underneath 3 plus 3 plus 3. I take these 3 out first. That's 9 plus 4. I think it's 13 centimeters. So they're just gonna add them all together. So notice how I did those two differently. Now this one, I have 2 millimeters plus 4 millimeters. 2 plus 4 equals 6. Then I have 8 millimeters plus 4 millimeters. 8 plus 4 equals 12. And then I have 3 millimeters. 3 millimeters. So I add them all together, and 18 plus 3, 21 millimeters. All right, thank you for joining me here on my learning block. I hope that helps. I know I start off with quadrilaterals. Remember, you just take the length and the width, add them together, multiply by 2, or you could take the length, multiply by 2, and add it to the width, multiply by 2 with quadrilaterals, or just add up all sides to get that perimeter. Thank you again for joining me here on my learning block. I look forward to seeing you next time. Keep learning with me.